The trailer for Astartes 2 looks incredible, so let's dive into everything that Games Workshop has said about it officially, news outlets are reporting, and everything we can find out from the trailer itself. So on the official Warhammer community website, Games Workshops themselves said that the teaser trailer, while awesome, doesn't actually show any clips from the new animation for Astartes 2. Instead, what it shows is a compilation of shots that represent the former lives of the characters that will appear in the show. There's a pretty unsubtle hint at the end as to the nature of the final story, so we'll leave you to speculate and start putting pieces together yourselves. That's what Games Workshop has to say on the matter, and what a lot of people have put together from the fact that the final shot shows a Deathwatch Terminator. These guys are probably a part of a Deathwatch team. Now, why that kicks so much ass is because if you didn't know, Deathwatch is basically the Delta Force, or the best of the best when it comes to Space Marine legions. So they take individuals from different chapters and turn them into small kill teams that go out and deal with the biggest alien or Xenos threat in all of the galaxy. So this actually rules in a lot of ways, because the animation that we see is going to be consistent with the animation in Astartes 2 itself, I would imagine. And the fact that they're saying that these are just the former lives of these characters goes incredibly fucking hard, because these aren't just any old Space Marine legions. So let's jump into exactly who the different legions are that were shown in the trailer. So we'll start out with the Retributors Legion, who was brought to us by the creator of the original Astartes animation, Simon Peterson, and he described them in an interview with Grimdark magazine that they're a more militaristic chapter, more interested in operating in small numbers to take on as many elite targets as possible, rather than mass battle glory like you'd find on some Pox art. His words. Now, another thing he says in this interview, that when you rewatch the trailer and you see the Blood Angels, spoiler alert, we'll get to them, are also going to be in Astartes 2, he says it's also a pet peeve of mine when the same old established factions show up in every story. I think it makes the universe feel like a smaller and less epic place. And he has a point here, but let's finish up on the Retributors. These guys are relentless. They pursue enemies of the Imperium without any ceremony. They don't even talk in the entirety of the first Astartes animation. And there's something very awesome about that. And I'm looking forward to see this rolled into a group that specifically goes after the biggest and baddest alien threats like a Delta Force team, and think they're the perfect way to kick it off. Now, next up, we have these handsome devils, the Scythes of the Emperor, who are the Black and Yellow chapter, a successor of the Ultramarines, another loyalist chapter. And these guys fucking hate the Tyranids, okay? It's a real sore subject. They lost their homeworld Sotha to them. It was destroyed by a High Fleet Kraken, which, you know, once kicked off an entire fucking war. So they're pretty much a bitch to deal with. But these guys look badass and really helped get me hyped for what to look forward to when these guys all band together and start fucking up some Xenos. Then we have these scary ass guys, the Mortificators or Mortifactors, depending on who you ask. And they're basically the Jason, Freddy Krueger type of the fucking Space Marines. They love close quarter battles, and that's why they're fucking everyone. They have this amazing shot of this dude just chainswording someone and not giving a shit about it. They're not official as far as I could tell from what I looked up, but they look pretty fucking official when it comes to seeing how they'll get brought into this whole show. And they're apparently recruited from a death world, which I think is someone just taking that leap of faith, looking at their ass, but it'll be interesting to see how they play into all of it. And next, we actually have a Descendant chapter that isn't from the Ultramarines. It's a Descendant chapter of the Iron Hands, who were devoted to the machine god called the Sons of Medusa. Now, the best modern way to describe these guys are just fucking truck guys. You know that one guy, it doesn't matter if you're going to church or something that requires a truck, they're bringing their big fucking loud truck there. That's these guys. They have a heavy mech focus, lots of tanks. That's how you see them driving in the trailer with their little black skull and a spiked halo icon. These guys should go hard and give a kind of bigger build out to the world just beyond the actual legions themselves of the individual Space Marines. And last but not least, we have an actual famous chapter, arguably one of the most famous loyalist chapters, in the 40k universe, the Blood Angels. Now, I imagine the reason they probably included them in here, like I was saying before, Sayama, the creator, said he didn't love when the major main chapters were brought in because he felt like it kind of shrunk down the world, which I actually get what he's going for when he says that. But if you've never seen Angels of Death, which is a pre-existing animation that you should go watch, they kind of kill it when it comes to the Blood Angels and understanding their background, the Black Rage. They just do a really good job. So check that out if you haven't. But these dudes are going ham in the trailer, jetpacking all over the fucking place. And I'm really interested to see how they bring up the idea of, a chapter that is a direct descendant of their Primarch, maybe as opposed to these other chapters, or does that, have anything or weigh anything against respect against one another? Probably not. And there's actually already a badass animation about the Deathwatch, this little short vignette that they do, that if you just want an overall sense of, the best of the best from different legions working together, that absolutely crushes it as well. So just to kind of wrap up everything we know so far, Games Workshop themselves said that although the animation in the trailer for Astartes 2 is badass, those aren't the actual things that you'll see in the show. Those are just the animations showing the previous lives of the members that will be starring in this show. And like I said before, it ending on the shot of a Deathwatch Terminator pretty much solidifies that's probably what we're going to get. And we have 5 very badass chapters, some made up, some that are very canon, and some that are at the forefront of the lore itself. I'm really interested to see, will this keep with the theme of the first Astartes and be very much silent movie, loud gun, good, action music type vibe? Or is there going to be dialogue and more characters themselves, not just the legions representing, themselves as an entire character that you follow? But what do you think? Leave me a comment, let me know. Maybe we can make a follow-up to this once the show actually rolls out, which again is just slated for this year. We have no idea when, but they do have some other animations coming out. They have one on the Sisters of Battle that could be pretty cool, and they have some other ones in the can that are done that you can go watch, including the OG Astartes. So now you know a little bit more of what to expect and have something more to look forward to.